Germany's monopoly territory is home to 17 million people.
Families already struggle to pay their bills.
AGD was convicted of 91 felonies.
Really? I mean, what's next?
Greybeard Talks Solar. He is SolarWise.
Welcome to the Greybeard Talks Solar YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. And today, man, do we have a show for you. What do Trump, Ukraine, Zelensky, and Solar have in common? More than you might think. And guess what? Today that connection just turned ugly. So I thought I'd jump on here and talk about the meeting that just kind of blew up between Zelensky and Trump and how that affects Solar, you know, moving forward into the future. So please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you forwarding any of this information on to others to spread the word, but let's just jump into this meaty discussion today. So I'm sure it's all over the news, all over the internet, that Trump and Zelensky had a meeting at the White House that turned a bit, how shall we say, acrimonious at best. It was a tough meeting, and it ended early without an agreement for Ukraine's rare earth minerals. And that matters, you know, that matters to the world. It matters to the U.S. in terms of recovering some of the investment and or monies that were given to Ukraine to support their independence and fighting Russian aggression. But it also matters to the solar equation. So when you look up Ukraine and what kind of rare earth minerals they have, I'm not a geologist, so I'm going to read off a couple of these just so you have some sort of an understanding of what's at stake here. But in Ukraine, they've got neodymium, which is used in powerful magnets for wind turbines, electric vehicles, and electronics. They've got dysprosium, essential for high-performance magnets in EVs and military applications. Terbium, used in fluorescent lighting, electronics, and magnets. Yttrium, YTTRIM, I have not heard of that one before. Found in LED screens, superconductors, and medical lasers. Europium, key component in phosphors for LED displays and fluorescent lamps. Lanthanum, used in rechargeable batteries and camera lenses. Cerium, commonly used in catalytic converters and glass polishing. And samarium, important for magnets in military and aerospace applications. So suffice it to say, Ukraine's got a lot of minerals that are really, really critical to current technology in both electric vehicles, green energy, magnets, battery storage, etc. So when this was all broached initially as a possible outcome of the massive amount of money that has been given to Ukraine by United States taxpayers over the last 3.5 years, I thought it was a great idea. Here's an opportunity for us to maybe get away from the United States is dependent on a lot of China minerals. So, for example, why are so many solar panels made from China? Well, they've got the rare earth minerals in China to be able to manufacture these. They've got the low cost of wages and employees in China to manufacture them, and so that they just have a competitive advantage. And in my mind, I thought, here's an opportunity for us to, maybe benefit from this horrible, horrible war that has transpired in the last almost 4 years, and also get some of our taxpayer money back. Lord knows I've paid my fair share in taxes, so probably have you, and we don't want that money to be wasted. And obviously, this is an opportunity to maybe recover some of that. So I was 100% in support of it, right? But Trump and Zelensky meet at the White House, and apparently he was a bit disrespectful. This is Zelensky. He was a bit cantankerous or ornery, and I, from what I understand, from a position or deal-making standpoint, he doesn't have a lot of leverage. So, kind of coming to the meeting, touting his chest or pumping his chest or whatever, if that's exactly what happened, I'm not surprised in the result, but. How this affects the solar equation is I'm hoping that there's some sort of an agreement that can be reached, and there's an opportunity for the United States and U.S. companies to take a large role in extracting some of those minerals. Obviously, they're going to benefit both the Ukraine and it's going to benefit the United States. But what I see it doing potentially is bringing down some of the costs that we're absorbing right now in solar. You know, we've had 3.5, almost 4 years of inflation. Solar's at the front lines of inflation exposure. metals, obviously in wiring, you've got copper, you've got other minerals and metals in the manufacture of solar panels, inverters, things like that, battery storage, lithium. And so I really saw an opportunity and was eager to see an opportunity where those costs could come down a bit because of what's going on with our partnership or potential partnership in Ukraine. Now, I don't know, as of when you see this video, I don't know how this is all going to play out. I don't know how if it's going to get resolved quickly or if it's still going to be an ongoing issue moving forward. But I'm pretty confident that we'll get an opportunity to be able to partner with Ukraine on their minerals. And now, long term, I've heard statistics that it could take a decade or more before we really start to see any fruit from this partnership. I think you could probably see some fruit from it well before that strategically, but in essence, what I'm hoping this will accomplish long term is the ability for us to bring down some of the costs that we're seeing right now for the manufacturer of both battery storage, inverters, and actual solar panels. And now, if we've got American companies, even if it's in Ukraine, but if it's an American-led endeavor, I would hope that would also potentially qualify, if those minerals are used to manufacture solar equipment, if Trump does in fact change the income tax credit to bias more towards American manufacturing or American companies that would benefit, I would hope that would apply to the efforts out there in Ukraine, and we get an opportunity to be able to harvest that joint venture as more of an American-led or an American-type opportunity. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out. Now, there was a bit of another component of it that I thought was reminiscent of solar. So you've got Trump basically wielding the heavy hand of negotiation, basically saying that Zelensky doesn't have any leverage. And if you recall, Zelensky was recently, about a week and a half ago, quoted on TV and was asked if he thought the country would survive without American support, and he said it would be very, very difficult and likely not possible. So I think he's in a rock and a hard place here. But it reminded me of how many homeowners in California are feeling that same rock and a hard place with their utility companies. It's like PG&E is the only game in town. They've got all the power. They've got all the leverage. If you buy a house in PG&E territory, you're stuck with PG&E as the utility company that's going to provide your electricity. And, you as a homeowner have got very little choice in the matter. I think that's very reminiscent of what's going on right now with the negotiations with Zelensky in Ukraine. Very little leverage, right? But here's the difference. As a homeowner in California, the one thing that you can do, the one piece of action that you can put forth to potentially change that situation is looking into solar. If you can generate your own energy from solar, you're then not in a position where you're needing PG&E, nor does PG&E have the leverage, nor is PG&E going to profit nearly as much from your purchase of their electricity. And so I think in that difference, it would be almost similar to Ukraine having somebody else that they could leverage to meet their economic and financial ongoing efforts in the war against Russia. I feel like if they had another opportunity, another version of another country that was going to support them in some way, then they might not feel as, in a rock and a hard place right now. But you as a homeowner, you do have that choice. You can go someplace else. You can look at solar. Solar is always going to be cheaper. And if you don't believe me, just think about this one component. The biggest expense of your current electricity bill in California isn't the actual cost of the electricity. It's actually the delivery of that electricity to you as a homeowner by PG&E's infrastructure of utility grid ownership. Effectively, you've got to ride their rail lines. You've got to ride their train. You've got to ride their lines of transformers, telephone poles, or electricity poles, etc. All that infrastructure is PG&E's grid. And what they do is they charge you twice as much to use their grid as it actually costs them to make the energy. So if you can do it with solar, number one, the benefit of solar is you don't have to get the energy from PG&E. You don't have to ride their network of utility grid infrastructure, so you don't have the same delivery charges that you would have normally, and it's just way cheaper. We've got programs right now available where we're seeing homeowners really cut their bill in half on solar with solar for a system that they don't have to write a check for or get a loan for themselves. So very, very interesting times that we're in right now. But that was also for me reminiscent of what's going on. If you feel leveraged, if you feel kind of in that rock and a hard place with the utility with PG&E right now, you do have an option of potentially exploring solar, and we think it's a great option to be available. You have better options and more options than I would say President Zelensky of Ukraine has right now. So we'll see how that shakes out. But hopefully you enjoyed the tie-in. Thank you so much for joining the Greybeard Talks Solar YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Smash those buttons if you can. Stay charged, stay informed, and keep shining, my friends. If you'd like to connect with us individually to explore solar for you and your home, all you've got to do is text to YouTube, that word YouTube, to 84503, and we'll be glad to connect with you. Again, one last time, all you got to do is text YouTube to 84503, and we'll be in touch to see if we can help you have a little bit more leverage than Zelensky has, see if we can help you fight back against the utility, which is PG&E and others, and see if we can help you to save some money so you and your family can be more comfortable in your own homes benefiting from solar. So thank you again for watching the video today, and look forward for more. We post every Monday at 9 a.m., and thanks for watching. Keep shining.
Thanks for listening to SolarWise, Greybeard Talks Solar. Please visit our website, solarwiseco.com, to learn more. And we will see you next time on SolarWise.